So whilst we're having our little mid-mush break with Dax and Zeus, we're going to do another video diary. So last night we went over to Joe and Steve at Northwest Breeding Services. They're the clinic that we've used for all of our litters prior to now, even from the very first litter with Toki when she had Zeus. Joe did our scan and our previous 2 litters with Bella. And she did the progesterone testing and things like that when we were trying to sort things out with Millie last year as well. They're a fantastic clinic, but they are also now over 40 miles away from us. They were closer before we moved. So with the previous 2 clinics that we'd been to for the blood tests were new clinics more locally. And I didn't have a lot of faith in them. They didn't seem to be very knowledgeable. So when I called up Joe to try and sort out about timings for the travelling and things like that, and she was like, well, we can't base it off of somebody else's bloods because we don't know if they've kept their machine calibrated, etc., which is completely understandable. So we drove over last night, all 3 hours of the round trip, and Bella's progesterone is still quite low. So this means one of 2 things. This means either she didn't rise like the test that we had on Tuesday said she did, and it was incorrect and the machine is wrong, and she's still low, which would fit to her patterns that she's had previously, because previously she's never ovulated before day 21. And we're only on day 16 now. Zeus, this way please. Come on, handsome. Good boy. So that would make more sense. Or she's having a split season. Zeus, this way. Come on. Come on, Noodle. Good girl. Well done. Which is where they start their season, do a little bit, stop, and then restart their season again, and then have a proper season. And Bella has done this twice in the past also. Her very first season she did that. And her second season, when she had her first litter of pups, she also did that. So we're not quite sure. So we're going to be going back on Sunday for another blood test, back to Joe, because we know we can trust the readings out of her machine. We know that she's calibrating things. She's very experienced, as is Steve, and they know exactly what they're doing. What are you doing, Noodle? You're pestering your daddy. Hello, Zeusy. You're tired, aren't you? Good boy. So this obviously is a lot of travelling, a lot of back into, a lot of stress, because we don't know when things are happening and when they're not. Come on, stop biting your daddy's harness, please. Stop it, you're a little menace. So this is a lot of the stuff behind the scenes with breeding that you don't really see. So it's really important, especially within our lupine program, but in all dog breeding, to make sure that you're matching your partners not only behaviourally, and obviously structurally, health test wise, things like that, but also genetically, so you're maintaining as much genetic diversity within the breed as possible, because there's a lot of illnesses that can occur from a lack of genetic diversity that aren't testable. Things like epilepsy and cancer and all that kind of stuff. All the risks of those dramatically increase the higher your coefficient of inbreeding is within the breed. So especially with the lupines, because our breeding program obviously is pretty small, it's really extra important for us to make sure that the breed stays very genetically diverse. So this involves using studs from all over the world, not just using the one that's closest, not using the one that you've got at home.